said it was at least 8.5 feet tall.
It wasn't more than
We probably locked eyes for maybe 3 seconds, and that was enough for me to just be completely scared out of my mind.
You pulled bait out too?
We have similar reports in Russia.
I must have watched it for about, a minute and a half.
A large something.
I couldn't explain what it was.
And that's when I saw the face peek out from behind the tree at me.
But ancient Native Americans have been recounting sightings for cities. Sightings of creatures all. The Creek.
They ran into this people that they called the Creek Nibble.
Since the late 1950s, local and national newspapers have recounted eyewitness reports of 6 to 8 foot tall, hairy, man-like creatures roaming the mountains of Humboldt County in Northern California.
Where the crystal waters flow. No reason to consider company might show, but destiny would find you where you walked across the sand to leave a world divided. Did Roger film a Bigfoot or man? Where are you now, Patty?
Well, welcome, folks. It's that time once again for the Friday evening Bigfoot Radio. And now for the Bigfoot research teams from across the country. Welcome, everyone. How is everyone doing tonight?
Well, I guess how everybody's doing tonight, I guess is okay. I'm sitting back and I'm burning my mouth off, but it's a good burn, I'll tell you that. I'm sitting back eating some good old habanero dip. Oh my God, this stuff is so good after I make it. It's like every time I make this stuff, I can't quit eating it. It's like having a foodgasm, if you know what that is. Anyhow, for anybody out there tonight that has any paranormal activity and you want to come on the show and discuss and talk about it, or you're a researcher out there in the field of cryptozoology with any Bigfoot experience underneath your belt, and come on to the show at 667-770-1476, and the participant code is 759314. Again, 667-770-1476. Participant code is 759314. And welcome, Chris, and the Snake Man. Yes, I can't help it. I'm burning my mouth, but it's a great burn.
I was going to say, Steve.
I'm just wondering if it's something he needs penicillin for.
No, I made me some homemade habanero dip.
Are you drinking that with milk or beer, or what's the choice of beverage?
No, I'm just drinking. It's not, I'm eating it, but it doesn't burn me because I'm used to it. I've always been used to this stuff.
That's why he lives alone.
It cannot be no worse than you, Snake Man. You have a wife, but I feel sorry for her because you got to sleep in the same bed with you because you got that Carolina Reaper, and that's one hell of a hot dip I made for you. It's got 6 of those things in that thing.
But see, Steve, I'm smart. I eat it in moderation.
Well, I eat mine in moderation. I ate a couple crackers of it this morning, and I'm eating a couple crackers of it with it tonight. And I tell you what, one bite of this stuff, I don't care if you're Italian, I don't care if you're Spanish, I don't care if you're African American. One bite of this stuff, you can't put it down. It's better than Lay's potato chips.
Wow, that's saying something.
Huh?
That's saying something.
Oh, that says a lot. A Lay's potato chip wouldn't be able to stand up against this stuff. Ask Snake Man. You ask Snake Man. He knows. He's got some of my stuff.
What were you asking?
Yes, Snake Man. What'd you think of it?
I'm still eating it. I've been eating it in moderation. I already ate about half the jar.
And how do you like it so far, the way I've got it mixed up?
I do like it. I liked it. I really do. I like it. I'm just waiting for my son to come over so I can give him some of it. I'm going to trick him.
Yeah, this stuff I make isn't made for the faint-hearted. You got to be a man to eat this stuff.
Why don't you marinate it in like some chicken?
Yeah.
Why? That kills the
I thought
flavor.
about putting some of it with some of those, what do you call it, those chicken nuggets?
That kills the flavor, man.
What, chicken nuggets?
Yeah, chicken.
Chicken wouldn't kill it. Just take the chicken, dip the chicken in it, and oh man, I bet that even tastes good too. You could probably use some of this and some spaghetti.
Hello, whoever just came in.
That was probably my phone that went off.
It sounded like the room chime went off when someone came in, but okay. So what's everybody been up to?
Okay, I got something to start with because you guys aren't going to believe what I stumbled across.
A rock?
Have you? I'm not kidding. Yeah, the rock. Yeah. Do you recall the movie or documentary In the Shadow of Bigfoot?
Yes,
No.
I do.
Oh, yes. In the Shadow
No,
of
I haven't.
Bigfoot.
Yes, I have.
Well, you know what? It's funny that you haven't.
I have seen that. I have seen that movie before.
Yes, it's hysterical, and you know who's in it? The one and only
Tom Biscardi.
Ivan Marks, and your cousin Bruce, Tom Biscardi.
That ain't my cousin. You know what?
He was in it. I couldn't believe it, and I'm going to send it to you.
That ain't my cousin.
I understand. I'm joking. Can't you tell? Jesus.
Yeah.
No, I can't.
Jeez Louise, pull your panties up, you know?
Listen here, young lady.
Ivan Marks, and there is Tom Biscardi, and I'm going like, you know, Steve and Bruce and Anthony are going to get a kick out of this. And there it is, and the documentary, and there's Ivan Marks, and he's up in the snow like this, and he sees Bigfoot in the distance by the trees, and he's trying to, like, you know, get a video or a film. So what does Ivan Marks do? Do you have any idea, Anthony?
Tell me.
He builds an igloo. He builds an igloo so he can go inside that and make a hole and wait for Bigfoot to come in front of him and film it.
Yeah.
And what happens? It works. And the Bigfoot comes in front, and Ivan Marks is there, and he gets this bizarre shot with behind the tree a little bit, you know, and Bigfoot starts screaming and yelling, and then goes farther away from the igloo, and Ivan Marks, so he comes back out, and Ivan Marks is, you know, chasing Bigfoot in the pine forest in the snow, and then it shows a picture of like the panoramic view of Bigfoot looking in the woods, trying to see, you know, where he's going to run to because he's being chased by Ivan Marks.
Well, actually,
you know?
I never saw Tom Biscardi in that movie documentary before. However, I did see a couple of people with suits on there, but if you look at the documentary, that's what it is. It's a documentary. It's what he experienced. You couldn't get a real Bigfoot on there even if you tried. That's why you had people dress up like that to basically give the audience, say, look, this is what I saw when I was out in the field. But the cougar was real. The coyotes were real. Peggy Marks raising the coyotes and dogs and the cougar and all that stuff, that was all real.
Okay.
But I never once saw Tom in it.
Well, Tom's name is in it.
Well, yeah, his name is in it, yeah, because he helped promote it, that's why.
Yeah, must be that. Yep.
But I knew Ivan Marks way before Tom even got involved in it because I grew up with Ivan's family because my mother and father knew Ivan Marks as a kid growing up.
Right. I think there's a still photo shot of young Tom Biscardi in it.
Yeah.
Where can I find that?
I was just digging around, looking on my phone, and it said the shadow of Bigfoot, and I was just looking like, wow.
Yeah.
And I came across it, Bruce. But I'm going to send it to you, everybody, and there. But it didn't.
Yeah, I sent that to you.
No, this is different, Stephen.
It's the same. It's the same thing as The Legend of Bigfoot and The Shadow of Bigfoot. Yeah, they're both the same movie.
Yeah, you sent me one, but the one that you sent me was more in the summer, not in the winter, at least that I recall.
Well,
and they're like,
Yeah, there's one that's in the winter too, but I don't know.
I'm going to send it to you so you can see. But then again, they made it seem like, this was done. What year do you think? Guess what year they labeled it at?
1958.
77.
No. Remember now what I'm telling you. Tom Biscardi was in it. So I'm giving you a hint.
1968.
Saying he was. No, sir. You want to guess, Bruce?
I said 77.
Oh, perfect. There you go. Who said it right in the head? He must have Googled it.
No.
Yep. Yep, 1977.
Okay, that's the year I graduated high school.
Just a wild guess.
Yeah. Me too.
Wait, you graduated? No, just kidding.
Yeah, I graduated the second grade. Oh.
Now,
but
is it just?
But anyways, it was a spook. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. Do you guys remember Of course you do. Lost in Space.
Yeah. With Will and Penny.
Yeah. Well, remember the robot? Remember the robot in it?
And the professor.
Yeah.
Okay. In the robot, the robot walks around and he has these little knobs on the side of his head that look like ears.
Right.
Well, in the Shadow of Bigfoot, the costume that they do have the Bigfoot running around and Mark's trying to chase it and film it, and at the end there, and he's got a good shot of it, and it has the peak of the head, but the ears come out like doorknobs.
Yeah.
And they don't move.
Yeah.
They're stiff in the wind, and it's walking around, and these ears are sticking straight out, like Mickey Mouse.
Yep.
And it was pretty funny. I thought it was pretty funny, but hey, if they're talking about, I'm sorry.
I was going to say that now that you mentioned this movie, this weekend I'm going to probably watch it.
I'm going to send you what I have. I found it's like a 5-minute thing of it, and I'll send it to you, Anthony, and all you guys. And but I just couldn't believe when it said Ivan Marks and Tom Biscardi in it in 1877. I said, oh my God. And I knew all three of you would, you know.
Must have looked real young back.
That's really interesting. You know, I'm gonna. I've been trying to track down the In Search Of with Leonard Nimoy, where he had the encounter with Bigfoot in the set when he was filming.
Oh, great! Well, you know what I also found? Did you guys know that there was that Mutual of Omaha did a segment on it on Bigfoot and the Yeti?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I had to read. I was just scrolling, just trying to find things to add to the show. Do you guys remember
Marlon Perkins
Omaha?
and Jim?
Yes, sir. Marlon. Well, the guy that the older guy that had the mustache and the
Marlon Perkins.
Yeah, Marlon Perkins.
And Jim, his assistant.
And his assistant. The conclusion with the Mutual of Omaha, and I think I saved that too.
Yeah, I used to watch that before Disneyland came on.
That's right. You got to be now. Must be those peppers you're eating or something. I guess. But anyways, in the show, at the conclusion from Marlon Perkins, Bruce, was that he did not believe that there was a Yeti or Bigfoot. And this was filmed in 1969. And how wrong is he?
Well, what the hell did he do? Send Jim out to castrate a Sasquatch?
Yeah, they did. Well, they did the follow-up with the 1951 climb of Mount Everest, where that they found those footprints by, that British explorer.
He's talking about the British guy from Canada. Something Burns.
Yeah. They were, and showing the feet up there. It's. I think I recorded that to send you also on that. I'll send it. But yeah, their conclusion of it was that they did not believe that there was a Yeti or Bigfoot. They believed it was folklore and be passed on from generations and generations. Has it been all the way to 1969? And
well, I know Brian Burns, he actually believed in it because he saw it once up in the Himalayas when he was up near the ice caps, and when he saw it, he freaked. So he started doing as much research as he could on it. He said, yes, they do have a North American great ape, which is called Bigfoot.
Well, the question I got is, how many of these explorers that do these television shows actually have encounters with things that they say do not exist?
I'm pretty sure quite a bit of them do. They're just in, what do you call it? In the waterworks of denial. And I don't mean the Egyptian river either.
And how many of these explorers that are on TV have the balls to come on TV and say, yes, they are real? Look at Survivor Man.
Yeah.
He literally came out and he said, yes, these things are real.
U.S. Forest Service came out and said, yes, these things are real. But they don't want the outside public to know about it, because if the outside public knew about it, guess what? There'd be no more people camping and hiking out in the hills no more.
That's right.
Yeah. That's right.
I think it's kind of funny, though, the Army is aware of them, too.
Yep.
It's funny you say that, Snake, because there's an Army base, I believe it's a National Guard Army base in Virginia. It used to be called Fort Pickett, but because of political correctness, it was renamed to Fort Barfoot, B-A-R foot, not Bigfoot, Barfoot.
Barefoot.
Okay. However, for a long time, with the soldiers that were getting training on that base at Fort, when it was called Fort Pickett, when they were in the woods, they frequently came across what the locals there called the Pickett monster. Okay?
Yep.
Because it was right around Fort Pickett, soldiers would hear whistling or hear tree knocks or hear like rock clapping.
Yep.
And stuff like that. When a couple of those soldiers got confused, and some of them had sightings and stuff like that. But the locals too had some. And in the local paper, and Giant, you might remember this because I sent this to you like at least 10 year ago.
Yeah, I
do. But in the local paper, there was a man right outside of Fort Pickett. He lived not too far outside of Fort Pickett, and he had found footprints in the snow.
Yep.
And the stride of that footprint was like an incredible distance.
Almost like 6 or 7 foot stride.
Yeah. You remember. And so that's one of the things he noticed. And so the pictures that they put in the local paper was this man. I don't know how tall he was, but whether if he was short or tall, they had his footprints next to the footprints that were in the snow, and it was like every 3 or 4. It took like at least 3 or 4 paces for him to catch up to the other footprint. So
yeah.
And this in the local paper, and they had the game warden. They quoted the game warden saying something like this. It was like, he's like, "Look, I don't know what this is," he says, "but I know it's not a kangaroo." So.
Yeah, I think if I remember right, that's the same fort that tried to do experimentations to try to get control of the Bigfoot, but it didn't work out.
Can you imagine standing sentry and seeing something like that walk past the gate?
Yeah.
Just being an ordinary soldier, standing sentry, next thing you know, this thing walks by the gate.
Yeah, he'd say to his wife, "What are you putting in my sandwiches?"
Now, on the shows and everything, Chris. Now, is there? Have you seen that search in search of that we're talking about? That one episode.
You mean with Leonard Nimoy?
Yeah, where the creature literally came into the middle of the camp, and everybody was freaking out and diving in cars and.
Honestly, Bruce, I think I saw that when I was a kid, and I don't remember it since. I haven't seen it since then.
I haven't seen it. I know it's somewhere on YouTube, but I don't know what it's under.
I know. I've been looking everywhere.
I'll try to find it for you. Now that you meant, is it called In Search of What?
Yeah,
it's In Search of, but it's a clip where I guess Bigfoot came into the camp. Leonard Nimoy saw it, and Leonard Nimoy shit and tried to get in his pickup as fast as he could, and Bigfoot almost caught him, but he didn't, and I don't know what was going on with that part, but he said he got into his truck and he stayed there. Like, don't get me wrong, but like a truck's going to really keep that creature out? Come on.
He was in the middle doing a face segment where he was talking about the creature, and the thing just strode right into the middle of the camp, and everybody saying it, and they all scattered. He dove into the nearest truck. You see the cameraman scattering, trying to get into the truck. Nimoy wouldn't let him in. You see people running by the window of the truck. They're all scattering.
Geez, moment with everything set up.
Huh?
It was just the perfect opportunity. If that was the case, if the camera's rolling and all this, and then everybody takes a dump, instead of like standing still and filming something, like you would have more detail than Patterson-Gimlin. You have that right there, but no, everybody's got to like disappear and run for their lives. And
they're city folk; they don't know any better.
Yeah, well, a
don't know
city
any
folk
better.
out in the wilderness, you run from a mountain lion. What's a mountain lion going to do?
Chase your ass down and eat you.
That's right. If you stand your ground with a mountain lion, what's a mountain lion going to do? Look at
They'll
you and
probably
run the
eat
other
you.
way.
Or say, screw it and eat you anyways.
Yeah, okay. I never had that happen to me yet.
It depends. But the funny thing is they do have I think there's a scene in it where when people are running by the window, you can actually see a big hairy mass walk past the window of the truck. I just wondered why he didn't film from the truck.
Oh. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows, What was that you were saying, Steve, about Hollywood, where they would film something and you could hear the Bigfoot in the background howling?
Huh?
You mean the $6 million man?
No. I'm talking about, it was some kind of interview that was going on.
What, you mean when Ivan?
It was on. You told me about it. You forgot already?
I never told you that one.
You did. You told me about it. You and Jan did. Because it was about people that were filming something. I guess they were doing like an interview on camera, and you could hear the Bigfoot off in the distance, and things.
Oh, it wasn't me. It must have been Jan that told you that one.
Oh, okay.
You got me mixed up with him.
Well,
nothing new with you.
I thought that was your wayward brother.
No. I mean, me and Jan were friends, yeah, but you were never a mother from another mother. Maybe you are. Chris and you are, but that's about it.
Yeah. And I tell you, though, the one person who would tell me some of the stories of his investigations was J.C. Johnson.
Oh, yeah. J.C. Johnson was pretty cool, but he saw a lot of things where a lot of normal people couldn't, like him and Audrey that live over there in Four Corners. Now, Audrey's been having encounters with these flying thunderbirds, or what they call pterodactyls.
That would be cool. And it was actually J.C. Johnson that told me about the giant lizards that are over there that are about 4 foot tall.
Oh, yeah.
They run on their hind legs. They chase people on four-wheelers.
They chase people on four-wheelers?
Yeah.
I've seen a lizard drive a four-wheeler yet.
No, they don't drive a four-wheeler. I said they chase people that are on them.
Oh, that's not what you said the first time. You better check that
Don't
juice
be
that you're drinking.
twisting it, buddy. Listen here. Go back to your peppers. He also had told me about something like a 30-foot snake that's been seen in the San Juan River.
I don't know. It's probably more than likely somebody threw that away years ago and it grew up. Probably a 30-foot anaconda or something.
And also sightings of lizard people out there on the reservation on the San Juan River. Mm. And I don't know if there's something going on there, like with a hole in the earth or a portal, or
you mean what they call the inner Earth theory?
Yeah.
You know, in a way, I kind of do believe that, because look at all the caves and stuff that are inside the Earth. I don't know why the Earth, there's no such thing as the hollow Earth. Well, I don't know. I hate to be the one to say there's not, and I actually find out that there is. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
That's
I don't know.
like saying when they sent what was it? Remember, it was back in the 1990s or 2000 somewhere that we sent a nuclear bomb up to the moon to check for water. Now, who in their own right mind sends a nuke up to the moon to check for water? That's the most stupidest thing I ever heard in my life. I think there was something up there and they were trying to kill it.
I get you.
You
Yeah.
remember that, Chris, when they said they're sending a bomb up there to the moon to see if it had water, and it was supposed to be a nuke? And that part never made sense to me. Why the hell would NASA send a nuke up there? That makes no sense.
I got a question for you. What planet did we send rovers to? We sent one to Mars. We sent one to the moon, correct?
I don't know if we sent one to the moon. I know we sent one to Mars.
I know we sent one to the moon because they were showing video images of it all the time, and all of a sudden they quit showing them.
Yeah, something.
Why would they quit showing them?
Something on the planet got a hold of it. Anyhow, the point I was trying to make is, when the rocket hit the moon, it was on documentary that the moon actually made this big boing noise, like a bell ringing. I'm like, are you telling me that damn thing is hollow and we don't even know it?
Well, a lot of people say that, who believe that. But, you know, I mean, there's a lot of craters in that moon hit by meteors.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
we'll never get there to see it for ourselves, so.
No.
Why the hell would I even do that? They're supposed to send a spacecraft, according to Snake Man, on the dark side of the moon. I haven't seen that one yet.
Great album, though.
Yeah, Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd.
Boy, one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah.
But you know how we Space Force and all that. How can we have a Space Force without any spaceships?
We do got spaceships. They just don't advertise it on the TV or nothing like that.
I believe we got a fleet up there, up by the station.
Actually, I was watching the documentary here about, I think like maybe 3 days ago. And we actually do have a fleet of ships up there. They just don't want the public to know about it.
Yep.
Well,
that's what I was thinking. Because I know that there was a big write-up in the paper at one time that they were trying to get, what's it called, warp drive or something like that going. They were trying to figure out how to do it.
Well, I tell you how they do it. You take a piece of cardboard, you warp it, and then you stick it out there, and you got warp drive.
You ain't right. You ain't right.
Never said I was.
I can't wait to see what commercial he's got for us today. How about you, Chris?
Oh, yeah. They're the best.
How about you, Anthony?
You know, I still enjoy the old commercials, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it into something new.
Oh, crap.
You know, anything with animal fluids is pretty funny.
With who? Animal fluids?
Yeah, one of your commercials
the
talked about
mattress.
that.
Check this out. I was watching TV the other day, and I wasn't looking at the TV, but I was hearing something, and I didn't catch it in time. But I swear it was the same voice on one of the commercials that Giant plays. You know.
Oh God.
It wasn't the Dr. Squatch one. It wasn't the Dr. Squatch one. It was the other one. It sounded just like that guy, and I'm like, I bet that's the same guy. You know.
I tell you what gives me laughing is those not the Dr. Squatch, the Beef Links commercials. The Jack Link commercials.
Jack Links.
With the Sasquatch.
Messing with Sasquatch.
I love those.
I just remembered it was it had to do with the pillow, right? It had to do with like a super duper neck pillow, you know. That's what that was.
Yeah.
I don't remember the pillow, but you know, you can look it up. You know, like the neck pillow, the conventional neck pillow that they sell, but this one kind of like, you know, it's more, it wraps around, you know, it kind of wraps around, so that it's a little, you know, so it's not like the horseshoe one. This one is like, you know, a little longer and it wraps around. So
well, I'm gonna give everybody a little flash update. February 20th, we'll have guests on the show. I had to really work my butt off at this one because Bruce couldn't get a hold of him. I'm afraid if Bruce even tried to get a hold of him, he would try to flirt with him and everything else. But anyhow, the She Squatchers will be on February 20th.
I'm sorry, repeat that?
I think it's February 20th. I could be wrong. I have to check the calendar here.
All of them will be on, or just one?
One of the main leaders of She Squatchers. They're doing a movie right now somewhere back east. So,
Again?
Yeah, she's doing another movie again. Yeah, it'll be February 20th.
Oh.
And Chris is going to love them because these are female researchers and everything else. And Jen, she's a really sweet person. She goes out of her way to make her team members and everything, you know, and she really puts her foot on the ground out there, and she really does a great job.
And they're all psychic too, I believe.
Well, I don't know.
No, I
wouldn't say they're all psychic. You might be.
No, I know one of them is. I think all of them are.
Yeah. Last time we had him on and I was interviewing him, I remember that somebody named Chris was flirting with him. How you doing? Hey, baby.
Who was flirting with him? Wasn't this Chris?
Yeah, I don't think it was me.
No,
actually, I don't think this Chris was even on when the She Squatchers.
No, I think it was the other Chris, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
You know, it was funny, and you were like, "Dude, catch your breath, quit, stop."
Actually,
I think.
Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think that was Chris. I think that was Snake Man.
No, it wasn't me.
No, it wasn't the other Chris. It was the other Chris because he kept saying, "Man, you got a nice voice. Man, you got a nice voice." And I got so fed up. I don't know if you remember. I'm like, "I get it. We get it. She got a nice voice. Let her finish." You know? Yeah, I remember. I remember that.
Oh, dear Lord, have mercy.
Yeah, he was having.
Well, that had to be before I got on the show, because first time when you called me was 2019.
Yeah.
Because I did my book in 2018.
Yeah.
So they've been for a while that they haven't been on here.
You're getting rid of 19-something.
1918? Oh.
No, it was before 2019 because 2019 was when I had that life-saving surgery. So it was way before that. But I remember it was like every other sentence he kept saying, "Man, you have a nice voice. Man, you have a nice." I mean, every other sentence was, "Oh, you have a nice voice."
Oh, does she have a nice voice?
I don't know. I guess she does. She just has
a
woman.
You know, I was trying to.
She has a womanly voice.
Really,
I don't know if it's nice or not. I don't know. She's just a woman.
I was trying to keep it very professional.
Yeah. And I just wanted to hear her, you know, I just wanted to hear her out, but he kept interrupting. "Man, you have a nice one." Yeah.
Well, don't get me wrong, Snake Man, but you're the one that brought him on in the first place. And don't get me wrong, but Snake Man was flirting with him.
But I was trying to keep it professional.
No, technically it was professional. It was the other Chris.
Have you guys ever heard of Todd Tizitel?
Oh, Todd Standing?
No, sir. Todd Tizitel.
Never.
No.
I tried getting Todd Standing on the show, but he never comes on. So I'm thinking maybe he's not as real as I thought he was.
Well, DNA. I've spoken to him. This guy's been on many shows. Tizitel. And I tried to get him to come up to the cabin, and he works out of New York City, Manhattan. But he's been on all those shows that you guys like In Search Of, and What's in the Woods, and all these things. And he became, from like 2006 or 8 till like 2015, he was very popular on these shows. They'd ask him questions. He was a bald guy, and he had like round glasses, goatee. Tizitel.
Oh,
anyways,
about,
I got his number. If you want me to,
Howie Mandel.
Yeah, like Howie Mandel, right?
Yeah, I speak to him. I only leave him messages on Facebook every once in a blue moon. You know, he's a germaphobe?
Yeah, I do know.
Yep. Who, Howie?
Yeah, Howie's a germaphobe. If you're going to have a conversation with him, you better wear a mask.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about Howie, whatever his name is.
Howie Mandel is bald and wears glasses.
I'm talking about Todd Tizitel, giant.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
I don't know how you got Howie Mandel, but there's a lot of bald people out there. I mean, at one time, what's his face was bald. That did Apocalypse Now. What his name is. Anyways.
Bruce Willis?
Yeah, Bruce Willis.
Okay.
Anyways, I had thought about calling him on to come on to the show, but you guys would have to go and like do a background search on this guy because he was very famous. You know, he was really very high commodity on there, but he wouldn't come up to the cabin.
I wouldn't.
So I never have time.
I wouldn't do a background, search on him. I just, if he comes on the show, great.
Well, you might want to know. Might want to know the person that would be on talking with us.
Right, I understand that part. Shane. Oh hell, I forgot his last name. I don't know if Shane is his last name or not. I friended him. Huh?
Urso.
Herso. I joined.
D-U-R-S-O.
Yeah, I joined his group. They're a bunch of scientists, researchers, stuff like that. I mean, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I'm not very talkative. I got up like, maybe 6 o'clock early this morning, and I got up, went outside, worked on my Jeep, everything else with the throttle body, putting brand new parts and stuff like that on there. And I got to go to, AutoZone. I got to pick up distributor pickup coil that goes inside the distributor underneath the distributor cap and all that stuff. And I went to sleep about 12. I was just going to take a nap. Yeah, right. That was some nap. And I went to sleep. I wasn't trying to. I just went to sleep. And my eyes opened up and it said 6:14. I'm like, oh crap, I got a show I got to do. So I'm in here trying to get everything done as quick as I can, sending everything out. And my phone was going off. I'm like, oh shit, I don't know what the hell's going on, but I better get this thing on the roll. Oh, God.
Hey, I got a question for Chris. Did you watch the whole documentary of In the Shadow of Bigfoot? And if you did you like it?
Look, I didn't watch the whole, but I'm going to send it to you. What I have of it, it was almost comical.
Yeah.
It was really, Anthony. You're going to look at it and go, "Oh my God!" I mean, you know, they tried to make with the narrative and talking in it, and discussing about how Ivan Marks was chasing it, and he built an igloo and the whole bit about it, and then he goes into the forest, you know, chasing with his video cameras, and then the next thing you know, you got the vision of Bigfoot in the forest, trying to run away from Ivan Marks. So you know it was a staged theatrical, you know, scene there, and then at the end, you know, the money shot is this Bigfoot they have, and with this cone head, but the ears are bent out, and they're like frozen or something. They don't even move with the body walking around, you know, in the woods in the snow. And the few shots of it open area, you could tell that you know, and they were at that time.
I'll send you the original movie that I have. It's on
You did, but that's not Winter.
It's not who?
I don't remember. It wasn't in Winter. The one I'm talking about was in Winter. The one you did was like 1960 something. You sent me, or
actually that was 1958.
Oh, 58. Excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah, he made movie The Legend of Bigfoot. Well, that was pretty interesting.
Yep.
But the other one that Chris is talking about is the one where he's in the snow and he's building an igloo and all this stuff, and it's comical as hell.
Yes.
But the movie The Legend of Bigfoot,
Anthony, it has a falseness to it. That, you know, even though they sort of tried to make it seem as real as possible, it was comical in a way. You'll get the gist once you see it. You know?
Well, it's like the movie that me and Snake Man played in. It was basically supposed to be a comedy reel, and you could tell by me wearing that ghillie suit that it wasn't a real Bigfoot. All we were trying to do is make a documentary of what we do and everything else, and we didn't have like a Bigfoot suit or anything else. And all we had was that ghillie suit, so they stuck me in that stupid ghillie suit, which I think was stupid. And I'm sitting there trying to pick up, what's his name?
Tim Holmes.
Yeah, I'm sitting there trying to pick up Tim Holmes over my shoulder and walk away with him, but Tim is trying to keep from me to pick him up. I think he's afraid of heights or something. And he's just sitting there punching away.
Funny.
Huh?
I said it was funny as hell.
Yeah. I do recall you sending me the YouTube thing of it, and you had that ghillie suit on, and you were, if I remember correctly, that you were like in a field without any trees. It was an open field.
Yeah, that was Connecticut Hill.
Connecticut Hill. Imagine Connecticut Hill. I'm in Connecticut. Damn.
Yeah, Connecticut Hill is like a forest. That's where we did the fire scene and all that stuff, and it gets pitch black in there. Oh my God, does it get black?
Oh yeah, it does. Oh yeah. Where Anthony lives, in the forest out there in the mountains, when you're in the forest there, the daylight doesn't seem to pass through the treetops. I mean, it's dark, especially at night.
Yeah,
and
especially where Mom and Dad lives. Oh my God, it gets dark as hell out there.
Dark. It's eerie, and because all you have is the light of your fire, nothing past it. You ain't seeing nothing. You're not seeing the stars. Nothing in the summer. No, right. It's eerie. Yeah. That's the only thing that made me uncomfortable.
You know, you're exactly right, because, and I told you the story before, that there was that one time when we were out in the woods, and we were and we were heading out. You know, we had set up the bait, we had set up the game camera. Of course, the bait's taken, and the game cameras, there's nothing on the game camera, and But when we were out, it wasn't me. There was three of us, but only one, my mentor, East Coast Jack, he was like, "Oh, guys, look to the right." And there was those lights that I told you that were moving around erratically, I could only describe it like it looked like a mosquito. It was just going up, down, left, right. I mean, it was just going all over the place. And then, boom, they just stopped.
Yep.
And trying to perform, and that's when I knew that there were three lights. That's when I was able to see for sure that, there's three lights after it stopped. And then it slowly, you heard like an airplane coming, and then the lights started to move, and then as it came towards us and passed right over us, it sounded just like a plane, but it wasn't a plane.
Yeah.
But I'm saying to myself, okay, somehow or another, this thing has a speaker, but all we see are three lights in a triangle formation. We don't see nothing else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Those three bright lights,
Okay, let's get into a commercial and we'll be right on back.
Holy molar. You've been doing toothpaste all wrong. Brushing your teeth with harsh chemicals like you're cleaning a toilet. Potty mouth. Ditch the tube of synthetic goo and start treating your pearly whites right with Dr. Squatch Natural Toothpaste. One for morning, one for night. Made with naturally sourced ingredients that'll get your teeth whiter and fresher than you've ever imagined. But why two? Because your morning mouth and night mouth, they're not the same. Our dynamic duo divides and conquers to give your teeth exactly what they need when they need it. Invigorating citrus mint squatches morning breath and jumpstarts your mouth. Soothing spearmint polishes away the day's stains and whitens all night long after gently tucking your teeth into bed.
Thank you, Dr. Squatch.
Maybe you've already tried natural toothpaste. It tastes like dirt. You gotta believe your teeth are clean, man. Squatch packs a harder punch than any other natural paste out there and does more for your manly mouth. With extra ingredients that promote oral health and men's wellness to keep your incisors singing, your canines barking, and your molars molaring. Our toothpaste tastes so good, you won't want to spit them out. All right, Mike, spit it out. Mike, seriously. Michael. Minty fresh minus the harsh chemicals, making it the only whitening toothpaste you've tried that passes the OJ test.
Pulpy.
Taking care of your teeth never tasted so good. Click the link to take a brush on the wild side, tickle your ivories, and treat those pearly whites right. With Dr. Squatch morning and night. Real toothpaste for real men. Say shoot.
And we're back.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Where do you find these things, Steve?
Boy, every time I think about you is how I find them.
That's bad when you start thinking of me. So,
I got to say something, man.
What's
Go ahead. Oh, I was going to say, if there ever had to be two people that could be put on an island alone and still be entertained for the rest of their lives with you two.
I was going to say, me and Snake Man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what you think I'm saying.
Funny.
It's a compliment. It is a compliment.
Yeah, okay. Uh-huh. Now, what I was going to ask, have you had any Bigfoot things going on for you?
I have to, funny you mentioned this. I was driving the school bus, and I came upon, man, the snow hasn't melted here. I mean, we still got 20 inches of snow everywhere, maybe even more. And I was driving, and I saw these footprints from my bus driving, and it was on this field, and the stride was like 7 feet apart, and they were right in the same pattern. I mean, they were like one in front of the other, but 7 feet apart. It wasn't like a human where you walk from side to side, and that's how evidently Bigfoot walks in a ways like that. They just walk in front, and the gap was huge. Now, I got to get back to this spot, and there is, like I said, I drove it by a school and was across from an open field, and I'm going to myself, man, could that really be Bigfoot just maybe running or something in the snow? So I just saw that yesterday, and I got to try this weekend to get over there and just stop and see. It could be a deer jumping, maybe. I don't think so, but it almost looked like human footprints, but the stride was like 6-7 feet apart from each, you got to go in the snow.
You got to go back there and get a picture before it melts.
Huh. Oh, nothing's melting here, brother. You know what? It's minus 27 degrees. It's just unheard. It is evil here. That's the one reason I was lazy not to go back there today after work. I was going like, Jesus, man, it's just freezing here. It's terrible. And I was saying to, the boys before you got on, I mean, it's the third coldest. Winter ain't over in history here in New England. I mean, it's bad.
It's 20 degrees below zero there.
Yeah, and it's uncomfortable. I mean, your skin, it within 5 minutes. You better take shelter. You got to take shelter. And they're having all these areas where the homeless are. They're opening up, rooms and buildings and stuff just to put heaters on for the homeless people to go in and just so they don't die.
Yeah.
And that stupid freaking groundhog saw its shadow. So, hey, we got another 6 weeks of winter.
Cool.
Well, I got to tell you, I think he's 43 or 47% accurate, which is the bad thing about it. He's 50-50 almost. Not better than our weathermen that we have here.
Yeah, weatherman, I don't really put trust in a weatherman. They'll say, oh, it's sunny and clear one day, and they'll say it'll be sunny and clear the next day, and when the next day in here, we got thunderstorms, lightning, and rain. I'm like, man, what the hell is this guy smoking?
Yeah.
They got the best job in the world. They could lie to you and get paid for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, all they do is stick their head out the window.
But I am still, Bruce, going, Bigfooting in April. So we're going to do a show when I'm out in the woods.
Yeah.
I'll do one show one night. But the thing is, man, this coldness. I mean, we have piles of snow that ain't going to melt to June because they got to have bulldozers and plows piling these parts. I mean, this stuff ain't going to melt. I'm looking at it going like, even if the grass is around and melted, I mean, these mounds that they have to build up just to clear the parking lots and stuff, you're talking 25, 30 feet tall. Just mounds. How's it going? It's unbelievable. It's terrible.
These weathermen, they think they know it all, and they don't. Did you guys hear about the accident they had on the news about a weatherman?
No, tell us.
Yeah, he stuck his head out the window when he was driving down the road, and his lips beat him to death.
Okay. I thought he'd hit his head with a forecast or something.
Yeah, the forecast was he stuck his head out the window as he was driving 80 miles down the road, and his lips beat him to death. Don't predict something you don't know what's going to happen unless you know what's going to happen before it happens.
Yeah. I guess I kind of don't want to tell you what our weather was today, but it was in the like 67 degrees.
Oh, that ain't bad.
Oh my God, that's beautiful. I think that's warmer than Florida.
Yeah, Snake Man sent me a video. I think it was a couple of days ago. Me and him were doing video chat. He opened up the door, and it's during the day, and you can see snow outside all over the ground. I'm like, wow, you got it made. He looked at me and he don't got it made. He said he likes the heat. He don't like the cold air at all. I said, well, then send it over here. I'll use all I can.
Oh, if he could, he would.
Yeah. I sent them off I sent him some of my dip. At least he can send me some of that cold.
By the time I send it to you, Steve, it'll be water.
You mean liquid water, air water, or whatever?
Any more paranormal stuff in your house there, Chris?
Oh yeah, I should send you some of the ones I did. I did last week. Yes, I'm going to send you some. I'm staying in another place. They follow me. It's just something that I'm attached to, and it's been attached to me since I was a child with bizarre lights and things that I don't really talk about, but they're there. And I try not to talk about them because when I do, it just, people start, okay, just like the Bigfoot thing. So I usually keep it to myself. But yeah, right now I'm in a different place where I'm living, and they just come. I'll send you what I videoed last week. I could do it every night.
Right.
But yeah, they seem, and I went by that cemetery that I promised to do a thing for you up here. Beautiful cemetery in this farm that's painted like a mustard. The buildings are all mustard and white color. The trim is white. I'm just giving you an idea. And the barn and the stables and everything is yellow. It's just like almost like a French mustard yellow. And in the farm in the background, there's got to be at least 300 or so, people buried. And I don't. But now it's all snow, so I can't get there. You can see it from the road, but the road to get to that part of the cemetery, it's part of the farm, and they haven't made it accessible to anybody to go, if they even do that. But that'd be a spot for anywhere in New England for Bruce to come and visit. And I mean, this is the area, if you want the ghosts and goblins and things like, whatever, the revolutionary soldiers walking around in the woods and the Salem witch trials and things. And hey, they had the Salem witch trials. Some of them began in Connecticut.
Yeah.
They hung like 3 or 4 witches, people they thought were witches in Connecticut.
Not to mention the slavery fight too for the Civil War and all that happened throughout all the U.S.
Oh yeah, the Connecticut. Yeah. It was called the Underground Railroad, and that goes right where I lived at the cabin. Jesus, there was an underground museum. 2 miles away from the cabin in Norfolk.
Have you done the audio recorder when you go to bed? So just leave it running and see what you get.
You know what? I'll try that tonight. If I don't need help to go to sleep, usually I've been going to YouTube and I turn on the sleeping sounds, and mostly I use the fan. They have a thing there that's it's an electric fan sound, and that helps me.
He does what I do is I'll go to YouTube and I got this certain little, they call it healing music or healing frequencies for insomnia or something like that. I'll play it and it helps me sleep.
Me too. Me too. But you know,
Native American flute music.
There you go. Matter of fact, when I went Bigfoot searching up in, well, I'm going this April. But when I brought the medium with me, she would turn on her phone and play that Indian flute music on the phone, real loud in the woods. She would play it to attract whatever she was trying to attract.
That works.
You know? Yeah. Yeah, she was in the...
They love soft music. They don't like rock and roll, but they do love soft music.
Yeah.
There is a...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
There is a... Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'll be real quick. They do have an Indian flute music with the Native American chanting, with the drums.
Well, that works. That definitely works because I saw that in Ivan Marx's movie, you know, and it wasn't even dark yet. You know, the sun was setting, but there was still plenty of sunlight out, and in that movie, and you know, in The Legend of Bigfoot, you could see him, you know, playing the drums and singing, and sure enough, you see a head popping out in the distance. Yeah. You know, yeah. So, but what I did was when I had left the recorder out, okay, and let me tell you, it's a great recorder. It's an Olympus, and let me tell you, that thing records everything. So, but when I had recorded their vocals one night, I got an inverter and a stereo amplifier, and I played it back. And every time I played it back, I would get a response. If I didn't get a vocal response, I would get one or more pair of eyes close up on me. So,
well,
yeah, that again, that was like, that was like, for me, that was like really exciting because there was a particular skeptic that I had done that for. I had played it and something had responded, and then when it got closer, and this is just my theory, when it realized that it was people, okay, it stopped responding, okay? But we heard some like twig snapping in the distance, okay? And when I say in the distance, it was across the soybean field, and then at the other end of the soybean field was a wooded area. And when that visitor, that skeptic came, okay, when I brought him, I said, look, come with me across the field, okay? Because when I saw the eye shine, now we saw the eye shine. Now, if I had to go by the gauge of, like, from where we saw it in the tree line, I would say that those pair of eyes were 7 to 8 feet in the air. However, the pair of eyes was walking from my right to the left. It was walking, okay? And I told him, I said, how high do you think those eyes are? And he said, you know, and he agreed with me about 7 or 8 feet in the air. And I'm telling him, and I said, look, I said, come with me. I said, come with me, because it's not good for you to be back there. And I'm always, you know, I go over there and I show you how it really is. I said, I want you to come with me, because a little bit past the tree line, okay, it dropped off. It dropped downwards into a creek, okay? And when you got to the wooded area, you could, you know, clearly see from the left and to the right, there was no clear path to walk
from my right to the left without bumping into a tree. The only place that you could do that was that if you were by the creek. And the creek was another few feet down. Okay? So when he saw that, he was like, oh my God. He's like, how tall was that thing? You know, because so you could only walk that way, you know, either from my right to the left or left to the right, if you were where the creek was, because that's where it was clear. That's where you wouldn't run into any trees, you know. So pretty impressed with the size of the creature after that. He was, not to, you know. Now the part that really sucked was that the freaking bugger must have been quietly walking in the water. We could not find any footprints.
All right.
So
that's typical. That's normal. I mean, you think you're going to find a bunch of footprints. You're not. If they don't want you to find it, you're not going to find it. And if they do find it, they left it for you to find. Sometimes it's just deliberate. Okay, I'm going to leave you. Here's a footprint. It's amazing. I know it's exactly what you're going through. You wonder where they all are, you know, and they're not there, but they're walking around you, you know. That it's just part. And this is the thing I forgot to tell you. Barackman and some other guy was doing a podcast 2 nights ago, and I started listening to it. And I started getting pissed off. I was like getting really. I'm going. Him and this other guy were saying about Bigfoot, and there's nothing paranormal about them. They've never. It's false, and they both agreed on it and stuff. I was going like, man, I have all these times watching you on Finding Bigfoot and the whole bit. You still know nothing. You don't know nothing. And I wrote that in there. I sent it to him on the comments, man. I hope they read it and I get a feedback, because they think that he doesn't know shit. That's what he does. It bothered me that this guy was preaching, they're nothing about paranormal and they can't disappear in front of you, and you know, and regarding with the way they disappear and you know, and whatever. And so I was really disappointed to hear that. I hope he comments back, because out of all the people that are writing, 300-something comments on this podcast he did, I was negative about it. So
I mean, don't be so hard on him. You know, that's my opinion. I would say don't be so hard on him, you know, because and the only reason why I say that is because I was where he was. You know what I mean? In the beginning of all, you know, when my first experiences, you know, I was totally of the opinion of purely flesh and blood, okay? And my mentor was trying to get that out of my head, okay? Because he has, you know, because in his experience, he's like, look, there's a lot of times that if you see strange lights in the sky or you might see a UFO, he's like, you know, and this is his experience. He was like, well, that means, he's like, to me, that means the creatures are close by. He says, I don't know, because of his hot spot, that's how it is. You know, he's like, he knows that the creatures are close by because, he was the one that said that where he was at, he's like, there's like a UFO and Bigfoot connection. And I'm like, oh, you know, I was kind of, you know, again, I believed in Bigfoot, but I was like, yeah, quite the skeptic. You know what I mean? But over time, there were credible people telling me what they had saw. You know what I mean? And so it was one of those things that I got to a point where I had to change my opinion. And then that Expedition Bigfoot, which I thought they had that one episode, and I hope you guys all seen it, was where they were in the nighttime where they had seen something, and then they had lit up the sky, you know, they had lit up the whole area, and they saw a dark figure running, and as the creature is running, it disappears. You know what I mean? And I'm like, there you go. There you go. It freaking disappeared, and then when they went to the other side and tried the footprints, nothing. So, but they had it on they had the freaking creature on camera in the distance, running away, and as it was running away, it disappeared. So
yeah, that's the one that you, Tom Biscardi, and different. I saw that. Yeah, and that's the one where apparently he was next to a log where you were standing at, and there was peanut butter on the log with the fish or something like that. And he was talking about how I saw the whole thing. It's bit in pieces.
No, Johnny, you're talking about my experience with TB, but I'm talking about the episode of Expedition Bigfoot.
Right, the expedition. I saw that one.
Yeah, but that one where they had laid out the sardines and peanut butter, that was kind of weird because when TJ and Rex and TJ and Rex and I think it was just them two, and it wasn't but a few seconds after they had set the game cameras, they had walked out, they had met us, and then we saw the cameras flash.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
And they look back and they're like, you think something's back there? He's like, well, Rex is like, well, something's back there. I got it on camera. But guess what? He had cameras facing east, west, north, and south, and the freaking buggers still avoided that.
Yeah.
And that was the 24-hour cameras that Rex had set up. This was not the game cameras that had tripped, you know? And the reason why we knew that the game cameras tripped is because he had the old cameras that would flash, you know? So we saw the flash go off, you know? So, cool. That was cool. And then the next day you saw where they didn't like the peanut butter and it was smeared up on the walls and stuff like that. That was cool. That was real cool. Plus they had different as well.
I seen the Tom TB used the peanut butter over in Frost, Texas, and he got the hand print in the peanut butter. Then they poured the plaster into the peanut butter to get the hand print, plus the camera footage when we were there.
Now, I remember that, Snake. I remember that because the cool part about that was that in the cast, you could see the dermal ridges of the finger. That was really cool.
Yeah. That was the same day that I had the face-to-face encounter out there in Frost, Texas with my team.
Yeah,
we were doing
Marco Bill.
Do what?
Yeah, I was going to say Marco Bill was real excited about that peanut butter jar with the finger inside of it. He was real excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
God rest his soul.
And then TB, when he heard that I had a face-to-face and it was witnessed by another person, he just kind of blew it off like it was not even important. You know? So, yeah, that was kind of weird. I mean, it's good to have all that kind of evidence, isn't it?
It is, but I guess maybe he wanted something tangible, something he could, show and make money off of, I guess. I don't know.
The goal was I was supposed to have my team and I hold one there until they got a cannon out there with a net for capture, and he never showed.
Oh.
So that was kind of a dangerous situation. You know what I mean?
Well, glad you're still here.
Huh?
I'm glad you're still here to talk about it. They could have carried you off like they did Rocky.
Well, when it smashed its face against the window of the truck when I was getting in, and we were driving away, I just about had to change my shorts. Because it was right there, face to face, with just a little thin piece of glass between us.
How tall was it?
It was about 6 foot, 6.5.
Okay.
What would you interpret its from the facial expression. Was it intimidating or was it curiosity?
It was intimidating, but yet it wasn't super threatening. I could get the feeling that it was just trying to get me out of the area.
Do you think
because we had found juvenile footprints out there in that area earlier that day.
So, do you think if it wanted you, it could have got you?
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
Oh, no
so
doubt.
So it's probably just putting you out.
Just a matter of it putting its face against the window. I mean, face to face with the window. You know how kids will smush their faces up against windows sometimes to make funny faces?
Yeah.
That's basically what it was doing. It was giving an evil look.
Yeah.
And that's what I think it was doing. Since we found juvenile footprints and a structure, we think that maybe it was just trying to protect its young. I mean, that would make sense, would it not?
I would think so. Yeah. I mean, it didn't. You didn't hurt its young, and it didn't hurt you. So.
No, just one of my team members peed on his foot.
That's amazing. That's how close you were, and you didn't even know it was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the weird part. I didn't even see it there. No.
So there was a time when East Coast Jack had come to the property that I had lost in a divorce. And when he stayed out there all night, I remember one time he said, watch this, because this is one of the things he was teaching me. He was like, watch this. He says, they don't like it when you piss in their living room. He said, watch this. I'm going to take a piss right over where you heard those tree snaps. And sure enough, man, as soon as he started taking a leak, all you heard was, you know, when you first hear it, it's kind of scary, but when you replay it, it's like, it's funny. You know what I mean? So,
They don't like it when you're marking the territory?
Nope. He definitely was upset.
That's weird. I'm the type of person, when you got to go, you got to go. Ain't got nothing to do with marking no territory. Just dig a hole and go.
Well, remember I told you they with my son on the second day I was there. We came back from inner tubing down the Farmington River, and when we got back to the house, there was a shit that was at least, I'm not kidding you, like a Louisville Slugger. I always compare it to a bat on the first step of the cabin.
Right.
And we're there, and we're looking at this. My son and I, he's 8 years old. I'm looking at this, going, whatever we heard screaming was breaking the tree branches the night before. Left it for us that we had to step over it to walk up the steps to the cabin. You know, and it was huge, man. And I should have bagged it. I had no idea that it was Bigfoot, but it was marking its territory, man. Because I was the first person staying on that property, over 800 acres, in like almost 9 years. It was 9 years, I think, close to 10 years.
Wow.
You know,
Right.
And it was not happy.
Somebody marked its territory and it blew the basket.
Oh man, this was just impressive. It was, no doubt about it. It could have been a Guinness World Book of Records for straightness.
Oh boy!
I'm not kidding you. I regret it. Everybody always asks me why didn't you bag it? And I wish I did, but on the second day I just put it over to the side. But I knew it meant business. Whatever it was telling me and my son to leave.
Yep. Bag it, flag it, and tag it.
Hey,
I'm sorry?
No, it doesn't mean business. It did its business.
I said,
Yeah.
I said, bag it, tag it, and flag it.
Well, ever since then I have. I've got stuff in the freezer. I wish I could, that guy that we had, you got brought on to the show a few weeks ago telling me about that North Carolina place. I got that name down.
That's what Snake Band brought him on.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Greg?
No, not Greg.
Yeah, that location in North Carolina.
Oh.
Yeah, I think
okay. Okay, that's
was
Greg.
Yeah, that was Greg. Now, I think that's pretty interesting stuff right there, though. I mean, you're talking about the thing crapping on your step. Didn't you say something about it did something with your furniture at one time?
Oh gosh, it would play games, man. After it became to an understanding that I wasn't a threat and just wanted to live my life peacefully out in the mountains, it seemed to change its attitude towards me. And then all of a sudden, I'd come back from shopping, and I go on the deck, and all the furniture is like laid down or put into a pile, but not destroyed, just nicely put down. Or you got to look at the one where it breaks into the video, where it breaks into my screen porch, and just takes the screening from one corner of the height of the cabin, gently pulls the screen all the way down enough that he could step inside or she could step inside. And I filmed this. As I seen it, I'm going, here you go, people. It's all like, and it went into my screen porch and gently walked around, knocking hardly anything over, and went after the scented candles, the apple-flavored scented candles. One was green apple, one was red apple. There were these big apples. I would sit out there and the mosquitoes were bad, and I light a candle and ate them. Was eating them and didn't destroy the glass table that I had, and it had it in the corners. I don't know how something so big walked so perfectly in there, and tore so I could repair it. You got to look at that stuff, man. I like I told that guy that you had on there, I have over 400 videos of documentation of the worst people around me, man. I mean, it's all there. What to look for. And talk about, yes, like you did, I had this 25-pound steel duck. It was solid steel. And it would not roll over or nothing. I mean, it was only like 10 inches high, and it was like a mallard. And all of a sudden, I tried to open the door in the morning, and it moved from one end of the deck, and then he would put it in front of the door. Then I'd have to get out, and I couldn't open the door. He would have it right up the edge. I go, well, how did that get there? He would sneak in. And sometimes I would walk around to see evidence. And on the steps, I would see like 4 fingers. Like he was crawling up, on the side, not to make any noise. And you'd see on this, almost like it was like a burn mark or something, because of the wood and everything that's, been on there for years and years. Like, even with the little bit of
like moss effect on the steps or something that would give it away that something was there, and you'd find these fingers. So I knew they were crawling up, and if they wanted to wake me up, they would shake the cabin, and they would never touch it. They would jump. And because the cabin was on stilts, so when they jumped, they get mad about it. I go, okay, I'm coming, and then they would have fun at that. Then there was one time where I see his back, and I'm going through the window, and I see him running up one side of the cabin, and so I rush around and go into the bathroom to try to catch him, and no, I couldn't see him. Then I look up the window, and I see him running back to the same spot, this huge square black thing that would be running the other way, playfully. And thank God it was playfully, but yes, they just seem to understand my way. I even stopped hunting, and I brought, I had a bow, and I loved to hunt, and I did, because of them and the nature. I was out there for such a long time. It wasn't even hunting anymore because I had an outdoor shower, man. I'd be outdoor showering. All of a sudden, there's these deer coming over here, leaving their fawns next to the cabin so the coyotes and the hybrid wolves wouldn't eat them. They'd leave them right there. So I was going like, so the animals get to know you. They really honestly get to know you, even if they have a small brain or whatever. I don't care. If it's chipmunks or owls or whatever. They can sense if you're good or bad or to fear. And I think they noticed that I was just taking pictures of them in wildlife more than wanting to put something on the dinner table. So that was a blessing, that part. Yeah. So that's why I'm going in April. This time I'm going. Like I said, last time I was there for 3 hours. It's why I did the stupid whistling. They were climbing up the tree. There's no leaves on the tree in the mountains in April, even into May here in New England. They don't still come because you're up in the upper, 2,000 feet and above.
Yeah.
But hopefully this time I'm going to, hopefully make contact. Not only contact, I want physical. Yeah. And I want them to feel that, they've known me for all these years, for them to come and bring their little ones that are now probably teenagers or growing up. I hope it happens. I hope I get to share it with you.
Well, it's that time of hour again.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Gentle Giant, and this is the Bigfoot Radio for this week. And we would like you all to tune in next week for some more Bigfoot Radio. And all of us on the Bigfoot Radio Network, we would also like to thank our guests for joining in on the discussion tonight on this talk show. And we would also like to thank you, our listeners, for sharing our adventures with us. Join us again next Friday evening for another exciting hour of Bigfoot Radio with the Bigfoot research teams from across the country. And we would also especially like to thank our listeners. Until then, this is the Gentle Giant saying good night, be good, be safe, and we will see you here again next week. Until then, keep Bigfoot live and keep Bigfooting. See you all again next week. Bye-bye, and have a nice night.
Just like a man, while keeping outside. What he is may be unknown, but there's one thing I know. He's the keeper of the mountain. All he wants is just left alone.
This session is no longer being recorded.
Okay, everybody's not normal.